Hi guys,
Hello.
welcome back to another episode of Underqualified. I'm Ashley.
I'm Savannah. And
I'm Corella DeVille.
And I'm Will Smith.
Get my wife's name
Out of your mouth.
And we're underqualified.
And we're extremely underqualified. And today is our first Halloween episode. And if you're watching this from YouTube, which I would fully send this on YouTube, we have our Halloween decorations up. We have our Halloween decorations up, and we have our costumes on. One of many costumes.
Yes.
But yeah, today's episode is about conspiracy theories. Ooh, spooky. But first, we're going to start off with our recap. Per usual. What you got for
we
me?
need to introduce McDonald.
McDonald the skeleton. And then we have the witch that's hovering over me.
What's her name?
I don't know. We never named her. She's been here for years.
Jessica. Actually, she's giving me Tammy.
Tammy?
Tammy.
And
our dog?
Oh, I thought you were pointing at the cat. I was like, the cat's not a dog.
No.
This is dog of my skeleton dog, Miko.
Aww.
It's Miko.
Aww.
And then we have our resident cat. Do you have anything to say? She's here as usual.
Always chatty.
Okay,
recap. I did go to that dentist appointment. When I say I was in and out in 35 minutes, quickest dentist appointment ever.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah. Also, I know I'm killing the game when it comes to flossing because my gums didn't even bleed.
Oh.
The whole appointment.
See, I don't floss.
She goes, what are you doing at... Oh my God. She goes, your teeth look really good. What are you doing at home? I say, I work from home. And then I realized, she wasn't asking me about my life. She was asking me about my teeth. So I immediately go, well, I don't floss as much as I should, maybe like 3 times a week, but, I don't not. And she goes, well, whatever you're doing, keep it up. And she goes, I can schedule your appointment. Like, she was like, don't even worry about stopping at the front desk. I can schedule your appointment here, blah, 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 blah. So I was so quick in and out that she asked me if I had any issues with like my teeth or anything like that. So I said no. And I didn't tell her about my jaw pain.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah. And so it's fine. I guess I'll live with it. If it gets worse, I'll definitely go because you can always schedule an appointment. But yeah, that's that. And then what else did I do? Did I tell you about the lab that we did my bio lab? Remember the one with like children in it?
Yes. I remember that.
They're all officially my lab partners, but anyways, we dissected a sheep brain and sheep heart. It was juicy, it was smelly, but it was a good time.
That's disgusting.
It was really nasty. Yeah. At least she was like, we usually do eyeballs, but people get queasy. And I was like,
understandable.
Weak. You're weak.
Thank you for dogging them.
Thank you. That's about it. I really have nothing much to say.
Really?
I didn't.
Honestly, I don't have much either besides, like it was Banks, my nephew's birthday yesterday. And we went to like a big party and it was like my sister's child. And so like her stepdad came and, her other half brother came and with his girlfriend, and I hadn't seen them in probably like maybe 5-10 years. And I must have had like an actual personality this time because they were like, you were so much fun. Like you were much more fun this time.
Well, okay, let's think. 5-10 years.
I was 12.
Yeah. So you're a child.
Like, it's fine. They were like, you were just so fun. Like you actually have a personality now. And I was like, oh, it's because I showed him that spider video that it was like the LSD spider gets this, or the marijuana spider makes a hammock and the cocaine spider pops a cap in his ass. And he thought that was hilarious. And he was like, Savannah, you're so funny. I was like, thank you so much. Oh my God. You have a personality. Cool.
Gee, thanks guys.
But yeah, that's all my recap is. And then, yeah, I got nothing.
Ooh, I need to tell you about my perfect fall day yesterday. So there's not many days I'm busy, and I always tell my parents this, I'm busy. You call me and I'm sitting on the couch, I'm busy because I'm always thinking about something. All right. And yesterday my parents were out on a boat, you were busy, and I was like, okay, I'm alone today.
I'm alone.
Most beautiful night forever. Okay, so I started out the day, woke up early, I did laundry, cleaned my bedding. That takes all day. Cleaning your bedding takes forever. And then I also went to Goodwill, shopped for like specific things, but also just shopped for myself. Got these sick moto jackets. 2, one burgundy, one black. They're sick. I love them.
I saw your Ralph Lauren PJ set.
Oh, my Ralph Lauren PJ set. You know me. I love PJs.
She loves her PJ sets.
I love PJs. And this one was polo, 100% cotton. Yes, I did sweat. Oh yeah, I was sweaty. It was hot. But
yeah,
they're so comfy, and they're probably men's, but
that's even better.
Yeah, they were
personally
got some. Yeah, just I thrifted, and it was a good, like, it was just the right amount. I went to one Goodwill. It was too busy in there. I was in and out. I was like, I can't handle this. I went to Walmart. I love good Walmart, but our Walmart is remodeling. This is so boring.
Oh.
Our Walmart is getting remodeled, so I don't know where anything is, and something I needed didn't scan at the self-checkout, and the woman was like, can you go find it and like take a picture of the barcode? I don't remember where I got it because it's all mixed around and stuff in there, so I was lost, and then I got overwhelmed, and then I was home by like 1. Like, I was out of the house by 9:30, but I was home by like 1 in the afternoon.
Yeah, but that's kind of nice.
Oh my gosh, it was so nice. The traffic, the weather is like windows down type of weather, you know, like it's perfect. And parents came home. I took a nap to football, which is the best naps. They came home. We got some burgers.
We had burgers yesterday. I love a good burger.
There is nothing like.
There's nothing like a good burger and hot dog.
Right. In like September afternoon, football's on the TV. You're eating a fat burger.
Southern.
Oh my God.
You just sit there with your dad and
it's bonding, and you don't even need to talk.
Exactly.
I love it.
Period.
And then so then we sat on the couch for the rest of the night, and I slept in my clean covers, in my clean PJs, because I did wash them before I cleaned them. Ooh, wait! It was a great night.
It was good. It was good. Me, I woke up with drool on my face this morning. Ooh. I must have slept that good. Ooh. So, even though the cat woke me up at midnight because she wanted to snuggle, I was like, we're not snuggling right now. I'm sleeping. Right, Opal? She agrees.
I know we said our topic today was conspiracies. Did you ever do any research on dreams? Or do you want to mention some recurrent dreams that you have?
Oh, yeah. We totally said our next episode. We can do dreams another time.
Oh, I did.
You wrote stuff down? No, we don't want to get off topic like we usually do, okay?
Okay, well, let's go right into the conspiracies.
Please, your father needs to stop yelling at us.
Literally, he came home and was like, you guys were all over the place. I was like, I'm sorry to disappoint. So
you like that we mentioned him?
No, he isn't. He says he laughs, though.
Oh, okay.
So that's good.
We love you, Mr.
Well, then
Lawrence.
let's go straight into conspiracies. You have a lot more to say for this.
Yes, so. I love some good conspiracy theories, and it can get spooky, I guess, depending on like how deep you dive. My computer was definitely flagged by the government for sure, for researching half this stuff. But okay, the first one I started off with is pretty obvious. I feel like is Princess Diana. She's my Roman Empire, for sure.
I have nothing to say. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh. Like, yes. Okay, so backstory is like Princess Diana was killed in like a car accident.
Oh, wait. Yes, I have heard of this.
Yeah, Continue. Like she was killed in a car accident, and it was like a drunk driver scenario, but like a bunch of the footage like doesn't really add up. Like the picture of the car from before she drove off, like the license plate like matches the car that she was in, but then the video footage shows a completely different car with a different license plate that was crashed. And so people are like, okay, like here's what I have. It says she was killed in an assassinate. Like the whole conspiracy theory is that the British monarchy basically assassinated her for having relations with someone who was I forgot his name, but he was Muslim, and he was like the prince of another country, and that was the whole thing, was like she was assassinated because of her relations with him, because after she left I forgot his name. I don't know. Prince Charles. No, that's the one that's dead. I don't remember his name. Yeah, I was like, that's so bad. But they're saying that she was assassinated, and in the report it said that she was killed by a drunk driver, and that they were trying to essentially escape the paparazzi, and that's how they crashed, because of the limo drivers, like the chauffeur drivers, like was intoxicated and killed them. And it's just like crazy to me, but
so is the conspiracy that what's the underlying conspiracy?
Either that the monarchy killed her,
right,
or that she faked her death.
That's what I was gonna say. Is that, do you think that she would still be alive if she faked her death, right? Yeah. Okay, so do you think she's still alive? I saw like some stuff kind of similar to Michael Jackson, because people say like,
oh my god, that Michael Jackson's still alive.
Yeah, he would be so old. Like, people are saying sightings, Michael Jackson sighting. Okay, he would look so old.
It would probably be unrecognizable by now.
Yeah,
especially with all the work he had done.
Yeah. Like, do you think that she like switched cars? Is there like footage? Do you think there's like footage of her, like some woman getting into like a different vehicle before, you know?
Well, and the funny thing is that like I found there was like an interview with actually with Prince Harry that said that he even believes that she could still be alive, like using the crash to fake her death. So he's even pushing towards the conspiracy theory, even like with his own mom. But
that's crazy
that he even believes that she could still be alive because of all the pressure from the crown, and like believing that, like, because she was like the most well-loved kind of figure in that community, like well loved. And then when she died, it was kind of like, okay, like in a drunk driving accident with like the chauffeur driver, like that's kind of weird. Yeah. So I don't know. It's weird. I was reading up on it and I was like, the government is definitely coming for me right now, searching Princess Diana's death.
That's what my dad said. He said, you better be careful. Lots of conspiracy theories can be super controversial. I said, Dad, we need it.
That's the entire point.
We need it.
Because some of these scenarios are so funny.
Oh, yeah. I was reading up on some that were like, UFO sighting here, but nobody has the footage and like blah, blah, blah. And I was like, dude. And then also there was this one about how like people think Justin Bieber's lizard, you know, the classic.
Gosh. I tried to find stuff on that one and I couldn't find it anywhere.
Because it's all stupid. Apparently there was a concert that like he went full on lizard mode and like everybody at the concert was screaming and crying and trying to run out of the arena. And they made them sign NDAs to not speak of it. So that's why there's no footage. But I was like, all those people, you're lying.
Someone's gonna say something.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, it was stupid. That's why I was really struggling to find notes that are like interesting on some
I was going to say, but the lizard one is so funny to me.
Oh my
like,
gosh.
People finding when they blink and
yes.
it's like a lizard
Miley Cyrus.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift
has Or like
one.
Celebrities being replaced by doppelgangers.
Yeah.
That's
Avril
another
Lavigne.
good one. That's another good one that I hit the big three.
Okay. Continue, please.
Okay, so the next one I had. Okay, sometimes I even believe this one if I'm being completely honest, and don't judge me on it.
I believe a lot of conspiracy theories.
The moon landing was fake.
Okay.
I kind of believe that one sometimes.
I did believe it, but then I listened to Neil deGrasse talk about it scientifically, and it makes sense the way he said it. But yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so a lot of evidence of the moon landing in the 1960s suggests that it was fake, which was so interesting. I was like looking at photos and stuff, and I was like, oh, this is so interesting. One of the biggest things was like the shadows from, like, it was like them, it was an image of them standing, and it was the shadow from the person and then the shadow from the pole or something from the aircraft, and the shadows like aren't parallel because there's only one light source obviously in space, and they were like, oh, because they're not parallel, then they probably had multiple like light sources, which means it was probably filmed in a studio. And sometimes I'm like, okay, but like the 1960s, really, like, did they have the technology to do that? Truly? No. We barely have the technology now. That's
what Neil was saying. He was like, do you guys really think way back then they knew how to make a green screen and like wind? Because everyone's like, the flag is like not blowing or, or is blowing or something.
It's like blowing in one of the images, and people are like, there's literally no wind in space.
Yeah. So how would that happen? And there's a whole bunch of stuff about like the footprints, and then like how there's like footage of like them doing it, but then I don't know, like there's like a lot of stuff that he was like, well, this happens because of this. I don't remember it because it was on a different podcast that he was on, and it was like a year ago when I watched it, but he was going into detail, and I was like, because I was like you, I was like,
it's so interesting.
I don't think it was real. There's no way that they like, how come they can do that back then but we can't do it now?
Yeah, that's something I looked up, and it was like because
it's really expensive.
It's expensive, and they decided to do like other missions rather than go on the moon that they've already done, which I mean, who wants to be like, I went to the moon for like the 6th time, like kind of thing.
But also we have rovers and different robots up there now. If we can send them, why risk the money like being exploded, you know, like why make the chance of like losing people and also losing ships when you can just send a robot up there. So
I will say though, another thing that kind of made sense was like the Earth's radiation field. They never would have been able to make it out of the radiation field.
Yeah.
Because of how bad the radiation is, like they never would have survived. And I wish I would have done more research on that, because I feel like that was the only like scientific, like real explanation I had of why it might have been fake, which I didn't even know Earth had a radiation field.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what that was.
Yeah.
So
I guess I don't really either.
I know, exactly. So that was just like a side note that I had written down. But what are you looking at?
I don't know. It just like lit up.
Spooky.
The vibes.
Just good vibes. But yeah, so that's what I have for the moon landing, which sometimes I believe that one.
Ending verdict? Is it real or fake? Let's hear
don't know.
it from men in black. Mr. Man.
I think the moon is a giant alien. Period. Let me just pull out my thing and just... Yink. What were we talking about?
You think the moon is a giant alien? That's actually so funny. Okay, explain yourself. Let's just make something up right now on the spot. Let's go.
Well, see, I think that something lives on the moon. I think that there's aliens on the moon and that they would kill us if we ever step foot on there.
And when we're speaking alien, are we speaking Green Man, or are we what do these aliens look like to you?
Well, did you see that alien they found in Brazil?
No.
You didn't see that? Oh my god, it's so funny.
No.
I'll send it to you.
Oh, is it real?
Yeah, I think it's real.
I think it's real.
I think it's real. I believe in aliens. There's no way we're the only things in the universe that exist at a higher intelligence. I think that other aliens think that we're just stupid and that they don't want to interact with us, because honestly, I think we're stupid too.
Yep.
I mean, here we are.
I have a actually we can go into this actually. So I have one similar, I think.
Speak to me.
It says human civilization may have gotten as advanced as we are now in the distant past. Okay. It says, and these are not my words. I just want to say that.
What is it? The library that was burned down all those years ago. One of the wonders of the world.
Oh, I don't know.
You don't know that?
No.
That like if we would have had that knowledge when the library burned down, then we would have been a lot more advanced than we are now, because it held so much knowledge that we don't know of.
What library are we talking about?
You don't know that? Oh my god. Okay, maybe that's just like my history stuff that I'm obsessed with.
You can look it up while I read off of this, but it says
okay.
First, modern humans have been around for like 300,000 years. Civilization from the earliest settlement we know of the today is maybe 20,000 years old. In short, there's absolutely plenty of time to go from Sumerians, is that how you say that? Sumerians to Americans nearly 10 times over in that time span between the first modern humans and then, basically cavemen. Ooh. If you believe in that.
Ooh.
And given that there's nothing unusual about humans who built that. And then second, there's a lot of legends about human civilization being destroyed by angry gods, usually because of humans behaving badly. The Greeks had a story like that. The Bible also.
The Bible.
I don't know how to say this word, but the Zarathustrians or the Hopi, also can't read, so just about any place where there's a record, you can find history of and often prophecies of catastrophic things happening to civilization. And then also says there's all kinds of anomalies in history. Egypt has modeled airplanes, India scriptures, Vienna's the sound of a lot like airplanes and whatever. So that was Indian's version of like airplanes back in the day. There's like I don't know. I guess I should have looked up how to read these words, but something called there's the Pi-Rays map or Pi-Rays map that shows Antarctica before it had even been discovered, and it's pretty accurate. It's kind of creepy, and it just says these things don't make sense unless you have people understanding technology near our own level before us.
See, so, that's a big. I feel like that's not really. I feel like that's like a history conspiracy theory that goes on because of like there's all these like theories of how far we would be advanced if we had access to this technology before, like, I don't know, but there's always that like weird person that's like, I'm gonna destroy this like no matter what, because they don't want people to have the knowledge. It's
similar to whenever your friend is making a sandcastle and you step on it just because you're like, I can, and it'll feel kind of nice.
Well, and that's what like, okay, so the burning of the Library of Alexandria, do you know, like,
no, I don't.
Really? Oh my gosh, it's so interesting. It was freaking Julius Caesar's fault. Go figure. I hate Julius Caesar. As an art historian, I hate him. So essentially, like, it was a library that was founded in Egypt by Alexander the Great. That was kind of like looked over by like 100 scholars. Like, they had information from all around the world, like Greece, Persia, Egypt, India, and a lot of other countries. So it was kind of like an accumulation of all this knowledge from all these different countries that were all held in this one library. And it was burned down, essentially, by Mr. Julius Caesar himself. Go figure. It says that Caesar was pursuing Pompey into Egypt when he was suddenly cut off by an Egyptian fleet at Alexandria. Caesar was outnumbered in enemy territory, which led him to order that the ships in the harbor seas set fire, which spread and destroyed the Egyptian fleet, which also destroyed the library, which destroyed all the knowledge in there. And a lot of historians have like theorized that, like, if we had access to this technology that they had, like, all those times ago, then we would be a lot more advanced, like, socially and just in everything.
Yeah.
But because Mr. Julius Caesar burned it down, little jerk. But yeah.
Wow, that's really interesting.
Yeah. This is why I love history, because it's so interesting. Like, there's all these like paintings that depict like the burning of Alexandria and everything. So, and I've studied them. So cool. Sorry, I'm going.
I can't wait for our art episode.
Oh, I love talking about art. It's so interesting to me.
Do you think that the Egyptians were trying to build a cube when they made the pyramid?
I do think aliens built it sometimes. That's another conspiracy theory that I could get into, but I don't have information on it.
I don't have information either, but a really long time ago, my dad was telling me about how, like, just about it. And it goes into depth. Also that, like, the military, like, definitely knows about aliens.
Oh, and on that topic, Area 51. I have so much information on Area 51.
Can we throw back to when, was it 2020 that we thought we would storm it? When was that? Was it 20? I think we were all bored in COVID.
We were all bored during COVID, and we thought we'd storm Area 51.
Yeah.
Which I feel like everyone kind of knows the general premise of Area 51.
Yeah.
This is where I think my computer definitely got flagged by the FBI and CIA, because I was looking up stuff about the CIA. Scared. So, guys, if I die, it's the CIA.
At least you'll look super sick doing so.
Anyways. Okay, so
Tammy's got your back, so.
Okay, so essentially, here's the rundown. Area 51 is located in the high desert in Nevada, however you pronounce it, I don't care. Which is located literally in the middle of nowhere. Like, it takes a trek to get there. Throughout history, throughout the 21st century, it's been known for numerous UFO sightings and numerous UFO stories, because the whole theory is that the government hides aliens there. Like, that's like the big thing.
Or like progressively is studying it.
Progressively dissecting them.
Yeah.
And I guess like that's been everything, is that they believe that the UFOs are stored there. Like, there's been sightings of things being carted there by the government. And I actually have some stories that I found online about it.
Yay!
So this is something that I thought was interesting. So it says some believe that there was a UFO that crashed a long time ago and is now subject to experimentation in Area 51. So there's like this story that this UFO crashed on this farm out in Nevada, and that this farmer discovered like pieces of scraps from the crash on his farmland and reported it. And the government actually pulled up and picked up all the scraps that he found and took them to Area 51.
Pause. This is so Smallville. Continue.
Oh, I love Smallville.
Whenever they go and they pick it up and they put it in his truck and they go take it to his barn.
But yeah, so like they had, and I think they made him sign like an NDA or something that was like, oh, but they didn't give him any information about what it was, like what it was doing on his land. They just took it and left and took it to Area 51. I was like, that's kind of sketchy.
That's weird.
And then there's always like, you know, like the actual things where it's like the airspace around the area is like off limits. Like I know that they literally will shoot a plane down if it gets anywhere near Area 51, or within that airspace that's like cut off, or like the road leading up to Area 51 has like a big sign that has like a skull on it or something that's like, if you cross this point, like you will be subject to be shot down. Which is scary.
Coming from military family, living on base and like being on base, that's not common.
Yeah, that's right.
But that is weird.
Yeah, I feel like it's like there's like multiple signs.
It could be like because Area 51 is so over saturated that
Mhm.
like people probably will fly drones just to see what's over
Yeah.
there. Like, I get it. You know, they have to like take all the precautions because at the end of the day, it is the military. And,
Yeah. The
you know.
military are scary.
Yeah.
I'm terrified of them. Anyways.
Wow. Well, what do you think? Let's debunk.
Okay, I 100% think that Area 51 is subject to aliens. 100%. I watched Roswell.
What's
You ever
that?
it's like an alien show.
Mm.
Very good. There's a lot of romance in it. But oh no, I have that like one man who actually worked on Area 51 confirmed that they had worked on UFO technologies within it. So he confirmed it. That's on period. So he like actually was, yeah. So I'm pretty sure he's dead now because he released that technology.
Yeah.
But he said that he did work on UFO technology while there. And that the CIA has officially released no information regarding like UFO sightings within that area. But all they say is that, oh, we're like testing stuff. And that's if you see anything.
Yeah, and here's the thing. If they officially came out with stuff.
Which they did. They came out stuff about aliens. Like they released footage and stuff.
Yes. But I feel like part of me, the Gen Z part of me is like, we wouldn't care. We already know.
Yeah, true.
It would just be like, oh, that's just another thing, you know?
Just another day.
To the civilization as a whole, I feel like it would be, I don't know, groundbreaking to say the least.
Well, just when they released all that information about aliens, that it is confirmed that like we have made contact at some point or whatever, and they released all this footage and stuff, people were like, honestly, this isn't as crazy as we thought, but the fact that our government is releasing it officially means a lot.
Yeah.
So, which, FBI, please don't flag this episode.
Yeah.
Please.
They won't.
Scared. They're gonna come kill us. Maybe. But yeah, that's all I had for Area 51. I feel like Area 51 is pretty well known with all their, like, I know YouTubers and stuff have gone and like tried to like sneak in and get sneak peeks, which I know there's like one image of Area 51, like an aerial perspective, which it looks like just like a regular,
it's an alien
base.
head.
Yeah. shaped like a dick or something.
Is it in Nevada where they have like a town that's literally just like, like they have like a car that looks like a UFO and like everything is just very alien
themed. Well, I know like out in the, what is that, like the Midwest, sorry guys, I had to burp. The Midwest is kind of known for that, I think, because of how barren it is.
They have nothing better to do with their time other than believe in aliens.
We should have made tinfoil hats for this episode. I should have worn my alien costume. I have a blow up alien costume.
Why do you have that?
My dad got it for me.
Oh.
Anyways, do you have any other conspiracy theories? Because I have one more, but the last one I have is dumb.
Mine aren't that good. Like, I don't know. I have another like historical one where it says most people know Mount Rushmore as one of the most recognizable landmarks.
Oh my god, I love the Mount Rushmore one.
And you know, obviously it has all of the famous George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Abraham Lincoln, and Theodore Roosevelt are carved into it. But not many people know that there's a hidden chamber behind Lincoln's head.
That they keep secret government documents.
Yes. But it says that, you know, obviously America's prized possessions are in the room. It was supposed to be called the Hall of Records, while the room does contain important historical documents like the U.S. Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, all that good stuff. It is now sealed off from the public, leading many to create theories. Some believe that the government is hiding something incredibly secretive there, like proof of extraterrestrial beings. Others believe that there's hidden treasures in the room.
Oh, like National Treasure?
Exactly, like National Treasure, the Book of Secrets.
So I like how it always goes back to aliens. Like that's such a big thing that we hold on to.
So many. Like if you look up 50 most realistic or real conspiracy theories, almost 25 are going to be just aliens.
Which, okay, yeah. I think I feel like it always just comes back to aliens because we literally have little to zero knowledge about them, and because we don't like, I feel like us as like humans, like as a society, we have to know about everything. Like, and if we don't know about everything, we start creating conspiracy theories, and then it becomes even worse because the government won't release anything on it because they're like, that's stupid. So, which leads me to my last one. Okay. Which is dumb. It's really dumb.
I love it.
You're gonna laugh at me for this one. The conspiracy theory that birds aren't real.
I believe it.
That they're a project of the government.
Okay, the birds that are most definitely real are the pigeons that surrounded that bird man on the beach.
Oh, for
those
real?
are real stupid pigeons.
Stupid birds. I do believe that pigeons aren't real birds, especially in New York.
Oh yeah,
They're not real.
They're fake. No.
The way they like walk around and they're like not scared of anything. Like I put.
Also, imagine getting hit in the face by a pigeon. Those things are dense.
They're like the rats of the sky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they're dirty.
They're dirty, nasty little rats.
with wings.
Get out of here.
Get that pigeon out my face.
What's the rat? Isn't there like in Coraline? There's like a rat with wings or something.
Oh, I don't know. I've actually only seen that movie once, and it was last October.
Really?
Yep.
I love that movie.
I liked it.
I'm trying to make sure we're staying on topic. I put a bunch of question marks next to carrier pigeons.
Carrier pigeons?
Yeah.
What is
like
that?
You know when like birds in like the 1800s when they were like, oh, I gotta go send mail, and they would like pull up a little scroll and like stick it in the pigeon's like little thing, and then they.
You think they actually did that, and that letter actually got sent where it needs to be sent?
Pigeons can be trained very easily, really easily. Like they have an emotional attachment issue, I guess.
Hence, Birdman on the beach. They
Hence
needed that
Birdman.
food.
Yeah. Which I found out that this conspiracy theory was made. I think this was made in like 2019, to be honest, during COVID.
Yeah.
But it was made by a 23-year-old, so he's literally my age. Go figure that we'd start making a conspiracy theory.
Yeah. It's actually so funny. Yeah. How do you think the government is controlling them?
Mind control.
Okay.
They put
so
like
you think
a little.
You think they're real birds, but they're just like you don't think they're robots or anything?
I think that they have created robots that could spy on people. Like, come on, we're advanced enough to create lifelike robots. I mean, the AI thing is just crazy to me.
Yeah. Speaking of AI, why is nobody freaking out about the fact that you can tell Lana Del Rey to sing a country song and then it's in her voice? Why is nobody freaking out about that? That is weird. Is Lana Del Rey not like, oh, so y'all have access to my voice now and can just recreate
okay, so to me that's not super weird because anything could be taken like that. It's simple like influx in your voices that can be put into like a coder. Yeah. It's super easy. It's like easy. Anyone could have done it anytime. But it just came up now. I like the chainsaw ones where it's like seeing Motion Sickness by Phoebe Bridgers and it's like meow meow meow. But you know what's weird is like the whole AI and like robots being able to think for themselves. Like like iRobot, that movie with Will Smith.
Sorry.
But like how they can think for themselves and they can like people, or like those shows that are people like have their robots like that are there for like intimacy. Those things are weird.
Ooh.
Weird.
I think it's gone too far now that Snapchat has their own AI feature friend. You know how like
that thing is not real.
No.
And I stand on that.
Oh, it's not.
The way that it posted on its own story, I was like, huh?
Weird. And it was like, wasn't it like a corner of like a wall or something?
Yeah, like there's no way.
It wasn't actually something. Exactly. I haven't set mine up. I have it, but like I have a friend that like made an avatar for it and everything. And like, I don't know. Do you think that there's kids that are actually texting it and like...
Oh, 100%.
Genuinely thinking it's like...
A real person?
Because, yeah, like when you're young and you get social media for the first time, like you're pretty vulnerable to a lot of things.
Yeah.
And like that's weird to know that like someone's like kind of young and they're...
Can be easily taken advantage of in that perspective.
Yeah.
I mean, even like what? ChatGPT? Yeah. I love that thing.
Hey.
I love it.
Hey.
It wrote my... I mean, I can't say anything. Oh. I use it for work all the time. Like seriously,
it's good whenever like when you genuinely just need
something,
a small Am I on the right track? Let's check ChatGPT.
I mean, it's AI is pretty like there's the whole idea that like, you know, obviously we're going back to the government, like the government can like find those and like use them against you, like that. I mean, it's always like that kind of thing in your mind. Like oh my gosh, one conspiracy theory I was actually talking to my mom about this because I went to the doctor. the doctor and how like my doctor was asking, they were like, oh, like when did you have your last period? And I was like, girl, I don't know. She's like, you don't keep track in your calendar. And I was like, girl, no, why would I want to do that? And I remember there was that whole conspiracy theory that came out. I don't really know if it's a conspiracy theory, but
or if it's just real
about using period tracking apps and how those apps can sell that information to like the government or to anyone if you decide to have an abortion. And they can use it against you. Yeah. Like, so if you put on your app that you didn't have your period for this amount of time and then you go get an abortion and they like need something to pin on you, they can use that information. But like, I personally think that's a real thing because apps sell your information all the time to other like companies and stuff like that.
It's literally any time that you're online shopping and before you can even click, it's like, accept. You know,
accept
it's
all
literally
cookies.
that. Yeah.
Because who doesn't want cookies?
They're so yummy.
They're so yummy.
I have I know a guy that is really into like technology and stuff, and he always says, no, you can't have these cookies.
Yeah.
He's very into that type of stuff.
I've started saying no to literally everything because I don't want
your notifications. I don't want to be on your email list.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, so.
Keep the cookies.
I mean, ugh. Like, I don't know.
That's messed up.
But yeah, that was like, I don't know if that's like more of like, just like less of a conspiracy theory and more of just a theory in general, or if it's more like real and fake. Because I know that was like a big thing that started coming out when all the abortion bans started going, and how people were like, don't use period tracking apps because they can sell your information.
Me with a period tracking app. Anyways, restaurant owners know how awkward it is to be sung to in front of a whole bunch of people at an establishment, and so they sing happy birthday to you to make you embarrassed, to discourage people from taking advantage of their free birthday food. Discuss.
I don't think that's real.
I don't think so either.
I honestly like no, because we still do it. We do it all the time at volleyball tournaments because we thought it was funny. Yeah, no, I don't know how to feel about that one. That was kind of weird, to be honest.
I had to break the tension about the pap smear.
So happy birthday.
Right. That's all I got.
Because some people eat that up. The happy birthday. Like my nephew ate it up. He was sitting there and I have to show you a picture. He was like with his little cupcake and he's like,
I can see his face now.
Because he looks literally exactly like me. And then he's like, because we were literally looking at baby pictures, and I was like, oh, that's literally what I looked like as a child. And it was literally Sky, and I was like, oh, Banks looks exactly like me. I was like, oh.
Good luck with that.
And I'm her half-sister. But we all look the same. Except for Cooper. Cooper's the odd one out.
No, I think Cooper looks like your mom a lot.
Cooper looks like Kayla to me.
Oh.
So anyways, okay, give me some of your questions.
Do you believe in the Loch Ness monster?
Oh, for sure.
And not Bella's kid, because obviously she's real, but you know.
Not the ugh. Yes, I believe in the Loch Ness monster.
You named my daughter
after the Loch Ness monster.
Yes. Wait, so
yeah, for sure. I think there's definitely like creatures out there that we just like haven't discovered yet because they pull out those evasive maneuvers on us, like Bigfoot.
That was my next question: is do you believe in Bigfoot?
Yeah, I was thinking of that random picture of him walking through the woods where he's like I believe in Bigfoot.
Obviously I've watched River Monster, so obviously Loch Ness monster is real. And then obviously I've watched that other show on the same channel that's like Finding Bigfoot, I think is what it's called.
I love that show.
And they do their screams like Whoa! and they like practice it, and they do it at night on the top of a hill, and it's so funny.
Do you think he just stands there and he's like, these humans are back again, let's leave?
No,
let's give them a little crumb.
I think that there's Bigfoot hunters, right? And they're doing the ooh, and they're waiting for a scream back, and it's other Bigfoot hunters that hear the hunters scream, and they scream back, and they're
like, oh my god, we hear one. Oh my gosh. Okay, wait, do you believe in like what are they called? Like I remember like oh god, what is it called? It's like this, it was on Netflix. It was like a show about this like skinwalkers. Skinwalker Ranch.
No, but sorry, you just made her move and I got scared. I started it, but then I wasn't in the mood. You know, I gotta be in the mood.
Skinwalker Ranch was creepy.
Explain.
It was
Explain.
How do you feel?
Talk about yourselves.
It was so weird. So it was like, it's basically this like ranch, again in Nevada, go figure, or like Arizona or something, and it's known for paranormal activity. Like, it's known for having all these weird occurrences, like UFO sightings, skinwalkers, like all of that. And there's actually like this scene where they're like doing like thermal, and they're like panning over it, and there's like this hot spot on the mountain, and they're like, wow, that's like so weird. Like, hey, did one of you like leave something up there? Like, what's going on? And you zoom, like they zoomed in or something, and you could see like the eyes, like the eyes of the thermal. And I was like, I'm terrified of skinwalkers, by the way.
Yeah, because have you ever seen
Terrified of them.
people that hunt or people that live out in the country have deer cams?
Like when they mimic people like screaming and stuff, and they mimic people like
Or
calling
animals.
their names. Yes.
Yeah.
That stuff freaks me out. Like, I don't like that. I know, I'm like, we're gonna burn some incense after this episode.
No, I do. I don't know. When I see video footage, I'm like, that is messed
It's weird.
up. That's creepy. But it's hard for me to, I don't know.
I
Like,
just
imagine that it's real.
I mean, and that's another, like, that goes under the category of like things we don't understand, that we have little to no information about, but there's so many like myths and legends and stories about them. Like, I'm sorry, but myths and legends have to start somewhere. Like,
Right?
something had to have happened
Dragons
for them.
were real.
I believe that. I love dragons.
believe
Go with
that.
like a dragon.
Yeah, they were real, because how come they're in every single culture's like book? Whatever
real.
their Bible is, they all
It's always in there, and
There's
it's always like either like a mythical, like god-like thing, or more of like an evil, like, oh, princess and dragons, like that kind of thing, like storybook culture.
Yeah. And then I guess similar is, do you believe in mermaids?
Okay, see,
We all learned
I
about
don't
that
know.
guy and the boat and the earwax. Come on.
I know. Okay, so like, yes and no. I believe that there is some kind of form of them, but I don't think they look like how we think they look.
I don't think they look like Little Mermaid.
No, I think they're very alien-esque
I think they
looking.
look like that. Sorry, I just talked over you.
You're so fine.
I think they look like that documentary. Do you remember it?
I was just thinking that.
In 2010, there
Like
was a documentary
the
called
mockumentary?
Yes, it was a mockumentary. It was called Found. If you look up Body Found on Beach / Mermaid on YouTube, it's about 1 minute and 30, and it's the intro, or it's like the trailer that they would put on commercials and stuff. And
I can literally like see the video in my head right now.
It's a mockumentary for mermaids on Animal Planet in 2010 is when it was released, which everybody thought it was real because Animal Planet released it, and Animal Planet is like known for their
No, because I thought it
real
was real
stuff.
when I was 9 years old.
Dude, in that scene, they're on the freaking beach and they're like, look what we found. And it's like a camcorder.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And then it ends with like the thing moving.
Like jumping off the rock.
I think it looks like that.
I think it's very like scaly. I mean, there has to be some form of like, if we were to get scientific, like there has to be some form of evolution that kind of stopped and like went that way. Because I know even with like the whole conspiracy theory with like whales, like they have knees and stuff, like they have extra bones. Yeah, you didn't know that, did you?
I did, because I took I don't know,
Marine biology.
no, but anatomy and stuff, and she talks about the progression, and in biology also gets into it,
like how they have like the knees and the legs, like so they
Yes.
have bones that they don't use.
They don't use, but they're still there. Sharks have them as well, I think.
Yeah, so like even like there's the whole thing of like we have an appendix, like why do we have an appendix if we don't use it? Which leads into like evolution of like, oh, we must have used it at some point, so like whales must have had legs at some point,
which is crazy to think that there's giant, like I'm thinking of like a giant, like a real giant. Have you seen like those pictures of like people taking rock forms and being like, it looks like a giant, and then
I think I know what you're talking about.
But it's crazy to think that like one day there could have been giants, and then there could have, how do I put this? It's crazy to think that we could have had a progressive, like mermaids, right? They're like humans or like they're like a mammal and in the water. Yeah. It's crazy to think that we're like 6 foot and then we could be in the water, right? Yeah. Progressively.
Like I think of like,
to think of like a giant that progressively became a whale.
Yeah. I think of
so
like
dumb.
Like I think of like frogs.
Oh,
like they
weird.
start out in the water, like they're tadpoles, and then they grow legs, and then they slowly make it on land, and then they lose their tail and become frogs.
Yes.
Like that entire form of evolution.
Whack.
It's so weird to me. Like there has to be, there's plenty of conspiracy theories about evolution and how there must have been this and this, and how there's all these depictions on cave walls about how there was this and like whatever. I don't know. It's like, it's so fascinating to me. I love that. That's why I love like especially like art history. Like you'll find pieces that depict like hell and like heaven and like like things like that, and how
religion and stuff.
Like how wild it is to see how they saw, or like legends and stuff that they would paint. It's so weird to see how their mind worked to say, oh my gosh, I saw this, let me paint Bigfoot. Not that I've seen a painting of Bigfoot anywhere, but like that kind of thing.
Yeah, I get it. It's like come on, like Ice Age, and they went into the cave and they saw like mammals, and you know. But do you think it could be like they didn't really understand ratios, maybe, and like
maybe
I don't know, I believe it.
Like
I believe it.
God, what's that movie? That's Chris Pratt in it.
Love.
God damn it. Where like, you love Chris Pratt so much and it angers me.
I don't really love him that much.
She thinks he's hot.
I just love him a little bit. He's like my guilty pleasure.
Whatever. But I forgot what it was called, where it was like, it showed like, this is again like a theory of the ice melting, and there was like something frozen in the ice, like an alien, and when because of, you know, global warming, whatever.
Wait, Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence? He was in like a space movie.
That's the space one.
Yeah.
This is the one where he's like goes back in time or so whatever to save the human race.
Got it.
It's on Prime.
Thank you.
And the ice melts, and the aliens like start to, you know, replicate whatever, and so he goes back in time to stop it, and he like bombs the ice where the aliens are. Sorry, spoiler. But like, I think that thing could happen 100%. I think there are things like, I know they found like the most minuscule thing is like diseases. Like they found diseases in the ice where they were like, if this, like we have to contain it so it doesn't get out, which then becomes a, what is that called when they use diseases against people? I forgot what it's called.
A pandemic.
COVID. I did find COVID-19 conspiracy theories, but I was like, I don't want to talk about that.
We'll talk about it off air.
Yeah. But yeah. That's all I have.
Speaking of, do you think like aliens, I never watched Nope, but do you think, can you explain Nope, the movie? Wasn't there aliens? I didn't watch it. I was scared.
It wasn't as scary as you think it was.
I know.
So it was essentially like the whole like thing behind it was that like everything's a spectacle, and when you abuse a spectacle, it fights back, essentially a thing. So like there was an alien, and well, they thought it was like a UFO,
right?
And so this guy starts.
Your cat scared me. I'm scared.
No, it's fine. You're gonna be scared next episode when I talk about the stuff I'm talking about.
Okay.
But there's the whole thing of like, okay, so when you abuse that spectacle, you know, it fights back, whatever. And this guy, he was in this accident on this TV show with like a chimp, and they used the chimp as a spectacle, and the chimp ended up killing a couple people.
Right.
And because he survived,
killing a couple people, freaking
mauling them.
Boom. Yeah.
And because of that, he survived it. He believed that like he could utilize it somehow. So when this UFO comes, he starts feeding it horses, essentially, from this farm that starts selling them to him, which is where like
is it the
Keke
Asian,
Palmer?
Is it the Asian guy?
Yeah,
he's the main character.
Keke Palmer and David Kaluuya are.
Oh, okay.
God, do you have?
Wait, who was the one feeding them?
The Asian guy.
Okay, got it.
The one from The Walking Dead. I forgot his name.
Amazing actor.
He's so good. And so he tries to feed it a horse. Well, it gets like angry and like eats all the people in the stands instead that came to watch the show. So that's where the whole like abusing the spectacle comes in, and kills him. And then the alien gets mad at the David Kaluuya and Keke Palmer characters because they fed it something fake. And so then it gets mad and it starts attacking them because it's like it's an animal, so you have to treat it like an animal.
Yeah.
Like, you don't look an animal in the eyes, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's a really good movie. A lot of people didn't like it because they didn't understand it, but I was like,
it's one of those movies,
fantastic.
It's one of those movies that right after it ends, you immediately go to the internet and are like, you debrief it. Like that's how I felt with the Triangle of Sadness. You remember that night?
Yeah.
I was explaining it to you and it just went whoom, right over my head. But that great movie.
It's I mean, me and Cooper like left the movie and we were like, holy crap, that was a great movie.
Yeah.
And
Jordan Peele, man, he knows.
He makes masterpieces. Yeah. And I felt so bad for Cooper because there's a scene where it's like the where the chimp, like the monkey scene, and
It was traumatizing me. And I
It
looked
was
up clips of it and I was like, "Ooh."
terrifying. Like, me and Cooper were like, it's where the monkey gets shot, and because they have to kill it.
Right.
And I crapped onto Cooper because I jumped so much. There's also another scene where the aliens like, so tell us what you really think. Where it's like, it's, oh my gosh, it's like eating a bunch of people, and it's like the screams of the people like being eaten. It was the most horrifying thing I think I've ever seen. Like,
isn't there a scene where it's like the inside of the alien?
That's what it is.
Oh
it's
my
like them
God.
being digested. It is horrifying. I'm not even kidding. Like, I remember looking at Cooper and I was like, oh my God. And I actually watched how they filmed it. And it was essentially like a tube that they stuck these people in and like slathered them in goo.
Ugh.
And we're like, okay, sound horrified. Yay. So, yeah. I think there's a lot of alien movies, I think, that kind of like twist the idea that we've always thought of them as. Like, especially
that one is so unique.
One.
That movie is so unique. Like, we've seen the classic, a ship is going up into the moon or to space, and the alien attacks the spaceship, and then they all die and one lives, and they make it to Earth and they can't talk about it. You know, like that happened. So many movies. But that one, the alien coming to freaking weird. Earth and like hunting. Yeah. See, I think the best depiction of Area, like the best depiction of Area 51, Monsters vs. Aliens. Truly, I really do. I'm not even kidding. It's so accurate. Are you kidding me? What's that song that the guy is playing on the
Oh
keyboard?
my gosh. That's so something that would happen here. And he goes, and he's like, Mr. President. And then they like carry him down the stairs.
You just unlocked a memory. I totally forgot about that movie. Wow.
Opal, how do you feel about it? I agree.
And on that note,
thanks
so much for tuning in to another episode of Underqualified, guys.
Yeah, please go watch our YouTube. It's linked in our bio. It's probably much more interesting. You can see the cat come in every now and then. You can see our Halloween decorations,
our costumes.
You can see me hide my dogs because I really don't want them, or else Ashley would have to censor them when she edits the video.
I'm hiding my cooter, and if you want to see that, you got to go on the YouTube. So.
But yeah, so drop a like, drop a follow, drop a beat.
A deuce.
Anyways, guys, we'll see you next episode. Next episode, we're talking about Supernatural, both the show and the entities.
Yes.
So exciting.
Bye.
Bye.